Alright guys, you're going to be given a solved question. We know it's a solved question because it has an equal to 0 at the start, okay? So you're going to be given a solved question. Now, when you multiply a fraction by a regular number, let's say you multiplied 2/3 by 8. You simply multiply the 2 by the 8 to get 16 and put the 3 underneath. Do the same thing here. If you multiply 2/3 by 8, multiply the 2 by the 8 to get 16 and put the 3 underneath. So do the same thing here. 1 times 4x, x. 1 times 1, 1. And put the 3 underneath. Minus 1 times 2x, minus 1 times 2x, because the minus belongs to the top, minus 2x. Minus 1 times 1, minus 1 if you multiply. Minus 1 times minus 1 so minus 1 times plus 1 is minus 1. Put the 2 underneath, and then you have minus a 6 underneath there. Now, what's preventing you from being able to answer this question? I'd say the presence of the fractions. Would you guys? How are you going to get rid of your fractions? What's the lowest common denominator? I'll go for 6, but 12 would also work, but go for 6. Okay, it's okay. 2 on the bottom. That means you got to multiply by 2 on the top. What do I multiply here? 3 on the bottom. So what multiplies on the top? 3. And the 6, don't need to touch it, do you? No. On the other side, I should multiply the top and bottom by 6. Doesn't matter, because it's 0. If that wasn't a 0, it would matter. Okay? Now, next thing. 2 times 4x, 8x. 2 times 1? 2 times 1? 2. 3 times minus 2x? 3 times minus 1? Then your minus 1 here equals 0. Okay, you have what's called a linear equation. Why is this called a linear equation? No x squareds, only one letter. Okay, now 6x, 8x take away 6x. 2 take away 3. Minus 1 minus another 1. Minus 2. What happens to the minus 2? 2x equals 2. Then, 2 divided by 2, which is 1. Great. The next thing, once again, we're staying pretty heavy with the fractions here. This is a simultaneous equation, but does it look anything like a simultaneous equation at the moment? Doesn't really look like it. So remember, there's two equations, okay? We'll start off with the top one, which is I'll paint this one blue, and the bottom one's going to be the yellow one, okay? So let's start off with the blue one. What can I do to make the blue one look more like a simultaneous equation? Could multiply down. What do we get when I multiply down, Oscar? 2x minus 10, okay? 2x minus 10 equals 3y. Excellent. Just what should I do here? X and y is over one side, numbers on the other side.
So, get the 3y, so it's plus 10 on the right side.
Yeah. And then what goes here? Excellent. So that's the first one done. The blue one is sorted. Okay, now we're on to the yellow one. What's the problem with the yellow one? Yeah, it needs the lowest common denominator because of the fractions, okay? So what would be the lowest common denominator here? Is 10. Now please remember, we're going to do this really carefully, right? So what goes here? On the bottom? 2. And if you do it on the bottom, you're doing it to the top. What about here? 5 on the bottom, 5 on top. Okay, what about the other side? You have to do this side as well. What is now the common denominator?
5.
No, I think it's 10. 10 on the bottom, 10 on top. Okay? How do you check if you did it correctly? You can just slice everything back off again, couldn't you? And you're left with your original question, aren't you? So that's how you know if you're right or wrong. If you can divide them back out and they turn back into their original question, you know you're correct. Does everybody get that? You can check before you move on. Now the denominators disappear. Why did the denominators disappear? They're equal on both sides, aren't they? Now what do we have left now, Ben?
4x plus c
Yeah,
plus 5x plus
and that equals
um,
10. Okay. Now, x's and y's over one side, other numbers over the other side. So what do you do here? 5x plus 4x? 9x. Plus 5y. What happens to the 2? 10 minus 2, which would be 8. Okay, I haven't quite done yet, because all what I've done is I've just changed them. I haven't actually done the simultaneous equation yet. I've just actually made them into a simultaneous equation. So these guys actually are, this question has now been converted into this question over here.
Would you get partial marks if you just get to
Yeah, you get a lot of marks for getting there. You might be entitled to half your marks even. Okay. Now, Oscar, pick a letter you'd like to get rid of.
Y.
You'd like to get rid of the y's. Okay. What numbers are in front of the y's?
3 and 5.
3 and 5. Okay. Which one? So what do you want to turn them into? What will 3 and 5 divide into? 15, exactly. How'd you turn the minus 3 into 15?
Multiply it by -5.
You're right, you would multiply by minus 5, but if I keep it as minus 15, that's okay, because it'll cancel with the plus 15, won't it? So multiply the top one by 5 and the bottom one by 3. Okay, you ready, guys? Look out for this. Okay, what does the blue one turn into, Oscar? 10x
Oh yeah.
minus
2.
5 times minus 3.
Minus 15.
Y, yeah. 5 times 10. Okay, next one. 3 times 9. 20 says, yeah. 3 times 5. 3 times 8.
20.
Excellent. Add downwards. What you get?
37.
X, yeah.
They cancel out, and then it's 74.
Yeah. 74 divided by 37? 2. Everybody cool with this? Now, I haven't got full marks just yet. Pick either equation. Yeah, I know, this is the hardest one of these I can give you. Okay? So what do I need to do? I need to pick one of the equations. Do you want me to pick? I'll pick the blue one. Oh, sorry, I'll pick this one here. Sorry, getting them mixed up here. I'll pick this one here. Everybody happy with that? Now what am I going to do with this blue blob up here? This equation. So 2 times 2?
4.
So it's going to be 4 take away 3y equals 10. Minus 3y will equal what, guys? And I bring the 4 over the other side.
6.
10 take away 4, which is 6. Multiply both sides by minus 1. Reverse the signs and divide by. And you get minus 2. Okay. Now, next one. There's three types of quadratic equation on the board. Okay. The first one, a quadratic equation usually has an x squared value, a x value, and a number at the end. Everybody agree with that? The first one is missing which part? It's missing the number at the end. In a case like this, you take out what they have in common. So what does x squared and 4x have in common? X. What's left over then? X into?
X minus 4.
Now, that is the answer for a factorizing question. X and x minus 4 would be the answer if there was no equals 0 and it was a factorizing question. It's not a factorizing question, it's a solve question because there's an equals 0. What's the next step then? x equals, now if you multiply it back out, you go back to the beginning. So either x equals 0 or x minus 4 equals 0. Bring over the 4. What happens? X equals plus 4. Okay, that's what you do when there's no number at the end. Okay? The next one, what's missing from this one? There's no x in the middle. When there's no x in the middle, more than likely it's the difference of two squares. And remember how to do the difference of two squares? Yeah. And then what you get? Now, you're right. A common way to check this question. A lot of people make this mistake, and a quick check, Peter, would be this: see your 9 and your other 9. Multiply them by each other. What you get? 9 times 9? 81, yeah? You want to get 9, you don't want to get 81. So you have to adjust the number. So what number do you think would work instead of 9? Huh? No, they have to be the same number twice. Trees. Trees will work perfectly. Okay? So this is known as the difference of two squares. You would have done you would have done a lot of them in your time. So you're going to get x plus 3 equals 0. X minus 3 equals 0. X equals 3. And then x equals minus 3. Everybody okay with that? Okay. The next type of question is a reference number question. Why is it a reference number question? You have all 3. Now, some of you guys would be inclined to use the minus b formula, which you're allowed to do. We'll be covering the minus b formula in 2 questions time. So I'm going to do it the regular way this time. Okay? So some of you would say a equals 2, b equals 5, minus b equals minus 5, and c equals 3, and you do it the minus b formula. That's okay. However, if you're asked a factorized question, if there was no equals 0 there, the minus b would not give you the correct answer. It'd give you the answer for the solved question, not the factorized question. So if this had no equals 0, and this is a factorized question, here's how you have to do it. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to multiply the 2 by the 3, and what you get? 6. 2 numbers that multiply to give you 6, but will add to give you 5. 3 and 2. Now you rewrite it as 2x squared, you split it up into 2x plus 3x. You can also do 3x plus 2x, it doesn't matter. Okay? In fact, I'll show you both ways just to show you that it doesn't matter. Okay, we're going to do both methods side by side. Everybody happy with that? Now, what can you take out of the first 2? What do they have in common? 2. What letter did they have in common? What gets left over in the bracket? X plus 1. Sorry, Oscar, multiply it back out. 2x times x, 2x squared, 2x times 1, 2x. What do we know about the next bracket? Has to be the same. And then what number will multiply on the outside to make that happen? 3. Now what you do? So 2x plus 3 and? Everybody okay with that? What? Do you want me to show you how to go backwards to minus b? How many people are going to try and use the minus b for a factorizing question and go backwards? Is there anybody here that's going to try that? You're going to do it. Okay, I'll show you it. So okay.
Why do you multiply that? Why do you multiply 2 by 3?
At the very beginning.
Yeah.
So that method tells me what 2 numbers to use here, Peter.
You have to do it the other way. Instead of doing
What's the other way?
as in like, I just skipped that bit.
And you forget it? but for some reason you remember the minus b formula. Here's what you're going to do. I think Matthew does this sometimes. It's not a minus b question, but he's going to try the minus b formula to do it. He's going to say a equals 2, b equals 5, c equals 3. Okay? He's going to use the minus b formula. Oscar, this will be, if there was an equal 0 there, that's the technique you'd use.
Is this one formula?
The minus b formula will be in your tables, which you should be bringing to your exam. No tables, no formulas. You must put that in writing. Okay, b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now get this, guys. Okay, ready? Minus b is minus 5 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 5 squared minus 4 times 2 times 3. Is that right? Oh, that's fair enough. Yeah, I see it. All over 2 times 2. Now here's what's going to happen. You're going to put all that into your calculator and you're going to get 2 answers. The first answer you're going to get is you're going to get the answer of minus 6 over 4, which is minus 3 over 2. You're going to get minus 3 over 2 as one answer. And the other answer you're going to get is minus 1. These are your 2 answers, okay? These are answers for what type of question? Are these a factorized answer or a solve answer? They're a solve answer. Solve answers always have x equals at the end. Now, how do you turn a factorized question? How do you turn a solved question? How do you put the answers? How do you turn the answers back into the original question? Is what I'm basically asking you. What happened to the 2? Division of 2. What happens when it moves over to your side? What's the opposite of division? Multiplication. So it's multiplication of 2 equals minus 3. What happens when you bring the minus 3 over? What happens when you bring minus 1 over to your side? X plus 1. So see the way you have these 2 brackets equal to 0. What you know is about these 2 brackets? They're equal to... They're the same answer, aren't they? So that's how you can convert a minus b answer into a factorized answer. Okay? We would have done that before. I only think 1 or 2 of you tried it. Okay? We'll move on. You'll get to see the video and you'll get to go over it again. Okay? Now these ones. Now, these ones here are a solved question. Don't mind all this gibberish, right? It just means that your answer is going to be a minus b formula in the answer, okay? Now what we're going to do next is we're just going to take this one here. Now, what's my first step in doing this question? What do you think I need to do first? If there's fractions involved, what do you usually need to do? Find a common denominator. Now what would be a good idea for the common denominator? The 3 looks over to the right. What does it see? X and a x plus 1. It sees 1x and then it sees an x plus 1. So what do you think I have to put on the top? X and x plus 1. How do I test if it's correct? I could strike them back out again, couldn't I? And it's still 1/3. Okay. What do you reckon about this one here? What does the x see? It sees a 3 and a. So put the 3 there and the x plus 1 there. So put the 3 there and the x plus 1 there. Alright? What does the x plus 1 see? When it looks left, it sees 3 and the x. Once again, how do I check I did everything right? Yeah. Oscar, if you want, what I can do is I'm probably better off to over bracket. So, do you want me just to over bracket everything? Make it easy. Okay. So look, we can just bracket everything if that makes things a bit easier. Okay? But everybody realise the denominators are all the same. So what happens to the denominators? So that's happened a couple of times today, hasn't it? Okay, now what's next? When you're multiplying, guys, you multiply 2 at a time. What's 1 times x? X. What's x times x plus 1? X squared. 1x. 2 times 3? 6 times x plus 1? 6 times x? Yeah. Plus 6. 6 multiplies by both of them. 1 times 3? 3 times x? So it's minus 3x. Nearly there. What now? Alright, tidy up. 6x, take away 3x. Plus 6, good job. Now, bring it all over one side. X squared plus 1x. Bring the 6 as well. Now, x squared minus 2x minus. In your Christmas exam, this last part will be achievable with the reference number, or you can use the minus b. In this question, because it says something about this here, that means that it's not going to be a regular number, it's going to be a surd. That means we're going to have to use the minus b formula. But in your exam at Christmas, you won't need the minus, you don't have to use the minus b. Let's use the minus b anyway. So what's the a value? 1. B value? Minus 2. Minus b value? C value. Formula? Minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4 all over 2a. Okay, let's try this out. I'm going to need a calculator for this, I'm afraid. I'll show you in a second. Okay, so we're going to have minus b, which is going to be 2. 2 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is minus 2 squared minus 4ac, 1 times minus 6, all over 2 times 1. Then we're going to get the calculator out. Fraction button first. 2. Do the plus answer. Please remember the plus sign in the middle. Yeah? We're going to do the minus answer next. Then it's minus 2 squared minus 4 bracket 1 bracket minus 6 all over 2 times 1. Your first answer is 1 plus root 7. This means your second answer is 1 minus root 7. Because if you go back up to the top, you can just change it into a minus. Press the change button. You can get 3.65 if you want. Write down both answers to be safe. Go back up, change it to a minus. And you get 1 minus root 7, which is minus 1.65. Okay. I think that's everything I aim to achieve today.